Well, I went through 500 boxes of candy canes, thanks to her.
Yeah, because whose idea was that?
It was her idea. Everyone know she's the one that's costing me so much more in candy canes.
Alright, so we're Adventures Without a Roadmap here with Clark Griswold, aka Michael.
Also known as
Michael. So, first big question, where are we? Where is the Griswold House?
we are in Rose Hill, Kansas. 1610 Tanglewood, Rose Hill, Kansas.
Kansas, keyword.
Keyword, Kansas, yes. There was a misunderstanding in Wichita Falls, Texas about where we were located at.
And Rose Hill is like a suburb of Wichita, Kansas, and a little bit south of Andover.
Yeah, it's basically 20 minutes southeast of Wichita.
Okay.
I wanted to interview Michael because we met at Krav Maga. I don't know how many years ago that was.
2 years ago.
Was it only 2 years?
3 years ago. Yes, probably was 18 when we met.
Okay.
What's
so
Krav Maga?
We did Krav together, and we found out about this display because he couldn't go to Krav one night because he had to set it up.
What's Krav Maga, Kate?
Martial arts. Israeli self-defense tactics.
Yes.
But yeah, it was like in October, November.
Something like that, yeah.
And he said he couldn't come to Krav that week because he had to set up for Christmas, and we're like, made fun of him because it's not until December, and then we realized how much he... What are your hours of operation?
I run from 6 to 10 on weeknights and 6 to midnight on Friday and Saturday.
And then you have to say, so you're here all the holiday season.
Oh yes, I'm here every night.
This is your
Yes,
daily
this is my
entertainment.
life every night. And I also like to get outside and visit with people and talk to them, so on and so forth.
A month. Can you come see this?
I always shoot to have it ready by the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
How long do you keep them up till?
Till New Year's Eve.
Start setting up. We kind of addressed that a little bit, but
I start in September. I pull it all out in September, go through it, inspect, repair, replace, because even though it's just sitting in tubs, every year I turn it on, there's something that needs work. Then about the latter half of September, I start working on setting it up.
and how long does it take you to, like, how many hours a day?
I am usually out there every weekend from sunup to sundown, and then every night as I get off work, I'm out there working on it while the light allows, and then I'm out there in the garage after the sun goes down getting prepped for what I want to do the next day. So until about 10, 11 o'clock every night, I'm either working outside or I'm in the garage 2, 3, 4 hours getting ready for the next
So
day.
it's like a part-time job.
Basically, yeah. Pretty much is. I mean, I don't even skydive during that time of year because I'm working on...
So you must love it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It takes precedence over skydiving.
It does.
It's a big thing.
Here's a skydiving Santa too.
Oh.
And did you want to like
Descriptions.
talk about the inspiration behind like why you named it the Griswold?
Oh, good question. As it started to gain more popularity in town, I started hearing people around town referring to it as the Griswold House. Well, last year, I thought, why not just go with it for the first time and do it, and everyone loved it. So the town is the inspiration for it. They are the one that actually titled it. I just officially gave it that title last
You
year.
adopted it after everyone
Yep.
was calling it that. I mean, you
Exactly.
can't drive by it and not call it the Griswold House. So.
No. Now I have an actual Clark Griswold inflatable out front.
How does the neighborhood in the city how are they like
With all the
feeling
people
about?
working in
So far, I've only heard of one neighbor, a couple houses down, grumbled a little bit about taking so long to get into his driveway, but as a whole, the whole community supports it. The whole community is waiting for me to turn it on. They're looking forward to it. It's become a tradition to many families in this town. This year, a couple that their baby was born in 2017 posted a collage of 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. Every year they've come out taking a picture with the little girl.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So the community supports it quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I've never had a problem with the city giving me problems, the police, nothing.
How did you get started? Like, did you plan to make it this big from like beginning when you started setting up lights? Was this always the goal?
No, this was actually never the goal. I started out simple enough, like the average person, a few inflatables, a few lights. Started adding more, getting a little bigger. About 5 years ago, people in Rose Hill started noticing, and when they did, it was like, oh, well, now that people are seeing it, I want to add more. And so in the last 5 years, I've kind of went a little bigger and a little bigger. And then last year with COVID, didn't have a whole lot going on, so I had more time to really add more. And then people being, at home on their phones and their computers, it blew up last year. And it turned into this ginormous, everyone showing up, driving from all over kind of, ordeal last year.
Did you get inspired by anything to do this?
My inspiration is because of my love of lights, because of how I looked forward to Christmas every year, and when I start seeing lights at Walmart or whatever, there was a feeling attached to that. I could never nail down what that feeling is. But as exhausting as it is, and how I'm out there every single day, and sometimes I'm just tired from it, when I see the kids, that's my inspiration. I see the kids out there jumping around. But there was a woman a couple nights ago, their daughter had been cranky all night. She'd been a little bit, crying. As soon as they turned the corner, she lit up. And she was out in the driveway dancing around the music. And I guess I'm just inspired by what I get to, the joy of it, the seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
And last year with COVID, I didn't have, as most people, nothing going on in life. So I got to get outside and actually visit with people and talk to people. And I just found I really enjoy that. So I look forward to that. But yeah, getting outside and seeing the effect of it is kind of my inspiration now. I know kids love it, but I really love to hear when adults get a kick out of it. And you see an adult who's like our guy last night said, it makes me feel like I'm, kid all over again.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because you get out there and it just makes you giddy.
Oh yeah.
It's just like so much going on too, which is fun. So has Christmas always been something that you've loved?
Oh yeah, Christmas has always been my favorite holiday. I've always loved all holidays, but Christmas is my favorite. As a kid, I always loved, we would drive down the street, my brother and I would lay sit in our car, and we would try to, who was the first person to see lights. I loved lights, I loved driving around seeing lights, so yeah, that's my all-time favorite.
So now
holiday.
you've made it something for all the other kids
Exactly.
now when they drive by.
Exactly.
How do you know when it's complete each year? How do you know when to stop, when there's nothing in the yard? Or do you just keep going until there's no space left?
It's kind of a go until there's no space left. I have a way of how I start, I put all the inflatables out first, and I kind of work down from there, from bigger to smaller. So I put the inflatables out first, and the larger decorations like the spiral trees, like the things that are taller, I'll put them out, spread them out, and I'll keep adding things that get smaller and smaller until I feel the space is filled up.
Uh-huh.
So that's kind of my, and then I'll also go back, even 2 or 3 weeks after I've turned it on, I'll be out there going, well, like that, I'll move it over. Or that's too close together, I'll move it over. So I'm tweaking it. Because most people are not going to see all the different tweaks and changes I made.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the OCD one who's looking at it going, that's not quite right. That's not quite right. So, but yeah, I still tweak it a little bit for the first couple of weeks.
Okay. Do you know about how many visitors you get a year? Is there like an average? I mean, now you have a guest book out there, so that would help a little bit with the count probably, but...
My only way of gauging a count is last year I went through 500 boxes of candy canes.
That was good.
Thank you. Thank you. And the thing was, the 2 years prior when you recommended it, I used to have a little cup out there of candy canes. And I would go through it, refill it a couple times a night. Last year, because it blew up, I went through the supply I had the first week, and had to rush over to Dollar General every couple of nights and buy 20, 30 boxes. Well, I went through 500 boxes of candy canes thanks to her.
Yeah, because whose idea was that?
It was her idea. Everyone know she's the one that's costing me so much more in candy canes.
He never even thought of it. I was shocked when you said you didn't
I
think
know,
of that.
and that's funny. There's some things I totally miss.
That was the first thing that came to my mind when I heard you at a display. Are there candy canes there? Otherwise, I won't come see it. Not really. I would come see it.
So you figure only everybody took one. That's at least 6,000. That doesn't even account for the people that drive by. So I'm thinking anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 people is what I get on a count. Kids, adults, everything.
Most of them are coming for the candy canes.
According to her. And we'll let her live with that feeling.
So if you want candy canes, come to Rose Hill, Kansas.
And I found out that blueberry is the one flavor that everyone likes the most. Because I had about the same amount of each one. They blew through my blueberry and left everything else behind like the first week.
I noticed you're running out of the good flavors.
Well, I still have like, the people think the pink ones are the pink or the red ones are like just peppermint. But those are actually Jolly Rancher ones. They just look like peppermint. Yeah.
I'll go re-examine those ones out there.
Exactly.
When I was a kid, there was a guy across the street from the school that always made popcorn balls. And he had like a Santa trash can.
Oh yeah, he said you should
and then
do
everyone,
popcorn balls now too.
but that would be a lot more work.
Are you?
I know, really.
I can barely keep up like tonight. You saw that I took a bowl from Dollar General. And I took a cup. I drilled holes through it so you can have some on the outside, some in the cup. I've had to refill it like 6 times tonight. I couldn't keep up with popcorn balls. My life depended on it.
No.
He'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
Get there
Hire an
eventually.
assistant. Big question everyone keeps asking is how does this affect your electric bill? Or does it?
It does. It does. Everyone thinks it's over $1,000 or over $1,500. One, I had 6 extra breakers added to my house just for the display. And LEDs make a massive difference because they don't draw hardly anything. The old screw-in C9 lights, you could attach 3 of those together, that's it. The LED C9 lights, you can attach 25 of them. So the LEDs don't draw much. Plus I make my own low draw extension cords instead of using your standard extension cord you don't want much. So if you think of a really hot summer in Kansas, which would bill ratings anywhere from $300 to $400, it doubles that. So it's anywhere from 7 to 8, depending on the year. So it's not outrageously high, but it is high.
It does. Something you have to factor in.
Yes, I do.
I know that that's coming.
Yes,
Awesome. Do you have a favorite inflatable
I do.
or decoration out there?
I do. The snow globe where it's snowing inside, that's my all-time favorite. I've been working to keep that one going and alive for a very long time. I've had to repair him numerous times because everyone loves it. I just recently this year bought 4 big containers of a little bitty teeny tiny styrofoam balls that go in there because I've lost so many over the years working on it. But that's my all-time favorite.
Is there anything that you want, like, are hoping to improve or change or add to in the future?
Well, actually, I want to really blow the trees up next year. To really wrap strands all the way up, make that tree really stand out in the yard. So right now you see a few major branches that are part of the tree, but I want to try to wrap more of the branches so the tree is really shown. Look, the little rock garden on both sides of the porch, I zigzagged lights all over the place. It looks like colored rock, or it looks like. Eventually, I want to have the whole yard look like that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So that means instead of seeing, you won't see any dark places at all. It'll be literally zigzag, and there won't be a square inch without a light on it in the entire yard. That's my goal. I want to get something.
That'd be pretty cool.
Now I'm going to need several hundred more boxes of lights to do that, but I'll get there eventually. That's my only big goal. Maybe slowly creeping into my neighbor's yard. Maybe he'll let me use more and more of his yard. My brother has an RV, an older RV that he's built up in the ground. And we've joked about parking it out front with holding the hose and the
Oh,
whole
you
nine
gotta
yards.
do that. That'd be pretty epic. Everyone has to come check it out. Rose Hill, Kansas. It's worth driving. See if you're in the area. Get out of your car and go look around. Get a candy cane.
Yes, you have to get a candy cane because it was her idea.
Yes. And then let us know what your favorite display part is. And let us know your favorite inflatable. That's my thing. The Griswold House.
Well, nice talking to you. Had
Thanks
fun.
for answering all of our random fun questions.
And I love your hat.
Thank you.
Your hat's
Thanks,
awesome.
too.